So hey there, thanks very much for checking out my YouTube channel. I do greatly appreciate it. So you may notice we've got a brand new look. Isn't that amazing? So what I've done is we set up a little YouTube studio within my little living space. So again, it's not a big budget. There's nothing there to speak of as far as that's concerned. We still have the old iMac system, so that's there. We're still using YouTube Live, and YouTube Live has added a screen within screen feature. So we're giving that a try. And because they put that in the system, I thought to myself, well, let's set up the space appropriately so it looks right. So I've got myself my little desk. We've got ourselves a little backdrop, which is just a little flat screen TV. That's the drape to my patio or my balcony, as far as that's concerned. But I thought this is a good little setup. It'll work really well. Isn't anything too confusing. So again, I wanted to do a little screen thing in the back so we could do a little logo or something along that line down the road, or channel art, something in that kind of role. Right now, we are just doing the play with the features functions and just kind of getting used to the space as far as that's concerned. But I think this is an improvement over the backdrop that we had before was of my 3D printer studio, workbench, everything. It was just kind of an impromptu, this is where it is, this is my hobby, let's do it. Where I thought to myself, I'm trying to get some actual subscribers. I had a couple inquiries as far as, I guess, how to manage or maintain a YouTube channel. Some folks were asking if I needed help. And I thought to myself, maybe I should put some effort into YouTube. So this is where I took the weekend, or I had a day off of work, where I thought, well, I probably should try and create a space that is solely fit for doing YouTube content and just kind of building onto that and seeing where we're going. So YouTube unto itself is going to be, I guess, I'm going to put it down as a subcategory. As we're building a channel, I would like to document it and basically say, hey, this is the process that we're going through. Here are some of the steps. Here are some of the things that I'm doing. They're probably all wrong. If you're an experienced YouTuber, or if you're out there and you're a producer or you're a content creator, you're going to look at this and go, buddy, what are you doing? Why are you showing the inner workings, especially when your inner workings are so poorly done? A good benchmark, because whenever I look at doing a project, YouTube is a project unto itself. I like to be able to see the inner workings, how things kind of flow and why things are done a certain way, or why they aren't, or an example of why you shouldn't, I think is a good idea. And I think because this YouTube channel is kind of an offshoot off my Turo hobby, which it's a hobby that kind of pays for itself, which is kind of nice. I thought, well, I probably should put a little energy into the YouTube end of it. And the way I'm looking at YouTube is it's a good learning experience. The little live sessions, I like answering questions. I like the Turo content. It seems pretty cool. I don't mind doing the automotive stuff either. I like doing that. So why not? And I don't really care about the viewership. Like, it would be nice to be able to say, hey, look at me, I'm a YouTube superstar. That'd be great. I think with that I get a plaque. And I don't know if they still send t-shirts. So I think that's what I would end up with as far as that's concerned. It may be a little drizzle of an income from YouTube, but it would be such a small amount that it really wouldn't offset the time spent or the equipment that I have to put into it. So again, this is right in that it's a hobby category. So I thought I'd just get you up to speed. So we've been doing kind of haphazard videos on the Samsung phone. So we've been doing that. We were using the Google phone for a little while, but it's getting weird. I think it's just getting a little older. And to be honest with you, I use it for other purposes. And I think what's happening there is it's just getting bogged down with other apps and other things. I think that's what it's doing. So, and I think the battery life on the phone is getting a little weird. So I have this other phone kicking around. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been using it in-car videos and things along that line. I've got a little lapel mic because it has an auxiliary in and out. So we've got that coming for it. So we'll have a lapel mic and a dedicated phone camera that type of deal for it. We'll see how that works out. I'm excited to see if that actually makes a difference or not. Again, it's not an iPhone. It's nothing fancy, and we're not getting into a fancy sub camera or anything along that line. I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. So when you're looking at it, you kind of go, oh, it's the equivalent of a 14-year-old doing cat videos. Like that's the level I'm shooting for. So just so that it's relatively clean and the audio is decent. So screen in screen, which YouTube, thank you, appreciate that. That's nice. So we can start doing some in-screen stuff where I can show you properly instead of turning the phone around and kind of doing the jerry rig. Hey, it's the 90s internet. So hopefully that helps out. I'm in the process of trying to find a better internet provider. So I'm in a rural route. So it's one of those things where getting internet to my location has always been a problem. And so I use essentially a dial-up, which can be good or bad. The good part is it's cheap, which is great. The bad part is when we do the live sessions, sometimes they're just really, really poor because the internet is just so laggy as far as that's concerned. Doing uploads on videos takes a while. Downloading videos takes a while. So it's one of those things where if I were a full-bore YouTube creator and I was doing this 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, this probably wouldn't work. But for a hobbyist, you're going to have to put up with some imperfections as far as that's concerned. Hopefully the content is decent. But with that said, so let's take a little look. So I've got my Turo listings up here. I wanted to try the feature essentially. So we're going to start doing some topics on that, like how to do the Turo settings. We're going to go through calendars, things along that line. So I'm looking for that. So this is just a quick little, we never really do quick little. So it's not like I do 5-minute videos. I tried really hard to do those, can't do it. So I just seem to meander. So this will probably be a 10 or 15-minute video. But it's just kind of cool to be able to tell you, hey, look, we'll have screen art on the big TV. We will have the but running. We will have screen features, so we'll be able to walk through the training and just go through some of the items there. I've been doing OnVec videos as well, so we'll probably use this studio space for that. And hopefully it turns out to be something of interest to you. Now, the other one is we will go through AI. So I'm going to do how we're doing our channel art, which we have to work on. So we have to do those little pictures for the beginning of the video, so people can go, wow, that looks neat. How does that work? So we'll do that. We'll do that with ChatGTP, and we'll go ahead and we'll show you how I do the scripting and a few other little things, which is I don't, but I do like these little point form things, and then ChatGTP kind of gives. We will try and keep it on a regular schedule, so I'm trying to keep it on weekends on the live sessions. Hopefully that becomes more apparent down the road, that you can go, okay, well, he's in on Fridays and Saturdays, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it builds up into something that's fun and automotive related. Turo, to a certain extent, is going to be there because it's kind of the bread and butter. It is the hobby that builds this. So it's just kind of the process. This is the offshoot. With Turo, it leads to talking about insurance. It leads to talking about car repair, talking about tools and equipment. I'm probably going to start doing some car reviews. I'm probably going to do car reviews based on some old videos that I already have. So we'll probably do like, is this car fit for Turo? And then we'll talk about maintenance cost, serviceability. We'll talk about market values and things along that line. So it might be a very informative channel as far as that's concerned. And hopefully you'll get something from it. Hopefully I'll get something from it. That'd be really cool. And that would be a thumbs up, or perhaps a comment would be great. Like, hey, we like it, appreciate it. Or, hey, I'm in Southern Ontario too. Yeah, that'd be a nice little heads up. Get a little high. Or subscribe. I'm at 400 and I don't know how about up. 420 subscribers, which I know in the world of the internet, you always think, that seems really low. But I'm really excited about that. That's, in my mind, I'm a very small little market, and I'm in a very small little town. So to get 400 subscribers or 400 people saying, hey, we like your content, we enjoy it, or we find some value in it, at the very beginning stages, it's a nice little pat on the back and keep moving forward moment. Thumbs ups are great too. I always like them if it's a good topic. I get a lot of that on shorts, and I'm trying to do more shorts because I think I look at the numbers on shorts, and this is weird with the internet. It's such a sharp contrast. Like on these live sessions, I get maybe 20 to 50 people that actually watch them based on the topic, right? On the lives, it's 700. I got one that's 2,000. There's another one that, and out of these numbers, if you're out there and you're doing YouTube production and you're a creator, you're going to go, okay, those seem really low, but they're baby steps. Like it's just, I'm just putting my foot in the water. We're just getting there. I used to do product reviews and things along that line a long time ago. So I've got some background with it, but it's really, we're just starting fresh. And to get 400 subscribers within like the first year, which is what we've been doing Turo for, I'm really appreciative. I think that's pretty impressive from that standpoint. And they're strangers, which I know you go, what does that mean? Well, it means somebody in Ottawa thought it was interesting. It means that somebody in Winnipeg thought that the information was of value. I find that to be the reach, to be just, you go, okay, the world is a small place, and I work in a small community. So for me, YouTube is doing a couple things. It's allowing me to show the educational process. So you get to see how I'm progressing. And I get some feedback with that too. It's very helpful. So when I'm doing my little Turo thing, which is really small, like if you look at other operators on Turo, they're running 4 to 12 cars. They're in a much bigger center. They're outperforming me as far as rent numbers, and it's just, they are like, that's just the nature of it. So to be able to get out feedback and say, hey, this might help you out a little bit, I appreciate that so much as far as that's when we're getting into product reviews and source items. I always get the feedback. Someone always chimes in and goes, hey, you bought that off Amazon, here's the other listing for it, this is a better deal, this product I use. I always get that when we did the brakes. I use Max Brakes because they're an Ontario warehouse, and I have a couple people come and say, hey, they're a decent company to deal with, and that's the one that if you were going to be out there, that's the one that we would use. So again, getting good positive feedback as far as direction is concerned. Has some good feedback on insurance. So it's one of those things where it's a two-way street. I'm giving up a little bit of my time, giving a little bit of my knowledge or my learning growth. In turn, I'm getting some back. So it's one of those things where it's a good community from that standpoint. Hopefully we hit that 1,000. I don't think it's going to be by the end of the year. I think it's going to be another 6 months, maybe a year. And then maybe we get some monetization in. And I'm fully aware that monetization on my topic line, like on what we're talking about, is not big money. But it is a nice way of being able to say, again, like that pat on the back or that thumbs up or that subscription to say, or from the system, we see value. And then if I see that at the 1,000 mark where I go, okay, well, now I can start getting it. We're not talking tons of money. I realize that, but it's not to be able to say, hey, you know what? There's something to build on here now. There is the mechanism in place, and the system finds value in what I do, which is, it sounds like I'm out there, hand out what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to say, hey, it's just a great way of saying I've got some support. That's all. So hope you enjoy the content. I'm going to cut it down here because I think we're at the 15 or 20 minute mark. I'm going to edit the first little part off in the studio space. Thanks. And we'll go from there. So again, thank you very much for checking out my videos. I do greatly appreciate it. And come back to, I'm going to do a little subsection in the old channel there on just internet babble. So in other words, it's going to be just what we're doing to make the channel function. So I hope you enjoy that. Have a pleasant and enjoyable day. Let me hit the button. I haven't hit the button yet.